How's it going, everyone? This is James from the OP team. Today's video will be a continuation of our series to go through up the stakes in spin and goes. Nick, our other team member, recently did a $15 spin. Now we're going to move on up. We're going to play the $30 limits. We're going to try and break down the difference mainly between the $15 limit and the $30 limit. And maybe look at some of the HUD, maybe talk a bit about the HUD that I use, talk about hourlies, start thinking about how do you want to go in the future with poker. The $30 spins are probably the first limit for a lot of people where you can think about going semi-pro or professional. So we're going to go through that sort of stuff today, and let's jump straight into a game. Okay, so we're going to play a $30 spin. The lobby's changed a bit now. We're playing UFC spin and goes. Let's jump into the game. See what multiplier we get. Something big for the stream, please. I guess I'll take it. $120. That's 4 times the big blind. 4 times the big blind. 4 times the buy-in. There's 3 of us. So if we had that every time, we'd be pretty happy. Very first hand, we got pretty garbage hand, and it's been limped to us. Our player is from Canada, so I'm going to give it a raise. I think it's more likely they're going to be a recreational player if they're playing from Canada than in general. So I'm trying to take it down pre-flop, and if not, try and take it down post-flop. This is really not a good board to continue bluffing on, though. What am I trying to get to fold? What is actually going to fold here? Not very much. Everything's either got overcards or a gut shot. Let's check. Maybe by the river we can start thinking about betting. Maybe even on the turn we can bet with the intention of betting the river. We get betting too. We're just going to go. I think it's always worth noticing boards that really suck for us and just giving up immediately. I think a lot of people, when they bluff, isolate pre-flop or free bet pre-flop. They think they have to bet every single flop. You don't have to do that. Don't worry about it. If the board comes out like that, you're just not going to get the folds. You're just dumping and wasting money if you do try and get the folds. I mean, seriously, pretty much everything that he calls has an overcard or a gut shot or a pair. Are they going to fold that? Probably not. Okay, so we've got King 10 here. If I was in last to act, then maybe I'd think about calling, but I'm not, so I'm going to let it go. You never know what can happen behind you, even though it's unlikely to hit the over limper. Sorry, the over limper. He was in the big blind. The, what's the word for that? Just the check. Big blind check. Generally unlikely to have an ace there. You'd want to raise it up most of the time. Pre-flop. We've got the jack 4. If he limps again, I probably would just be folding the jack 4. I think this is where it gets close, though, between whether to over limp or not, especially if our opponent isn't too aggressive in the big blind when we're in the small blind. Okay, we got our first playable hand, really. So we're going to try and see a flop. We've hit middle pair. It can be tricky to play this. Basically, on the flop, I plan to play it as a check call. We're going to do that. I don't think I do anything other than check call here. I pretty much never lead out. Every now and again, you could lead out if you wanted to, but for simplicity's sake, I don't do that. But most of the time, you want to be checking and calling. Double flush draw possibility here. Lots of stuff missed by the river. I think what I want to do is bet small and call a raise. So I'm trying to get value from an 8 or a worse jack than me. And if they raise, it doesn't make that much sense. So I'd make the call. And if he did have a king, he can't really raise that bet unless he has a really good king or 2 pair. But it's unlikely he has 2 pair or a really good king, because they probably want a protection bet on the turn. So I went for that small bet on the river. Normally, you can think about making a check here, but because of the reasons I just said, I prefer making a small bet. I could go even smaller than what we did there. I think maybe it was a slight mistake. Could make it a little bit smaller to make sure all the 8s want to call, or turn it into a bluff, and then we can win even more chips from that. Anyway, as you can see, we're using a HUD here. If you haven't done so already and you want this heads-up display, we have it over on our Discord channel. The link will be under the video, so if you want that HUD, come get it. It's free. You just need Holder Manager 2. I've been requested by a bunch of people to have it for Poker Tracker 4 as well. So in the next few coming days, I'll be putting it out for Poker Tracker 4. Very, very similar. I don't know if I can do it exactly the same. I'll try, but if I can't, then so be it. I'm not that used to Poker Tracker 4, but I think I can make a similar HUD. Free of charge again. So if you want that, head on over to the Discord. I will have it. So we got the Discord here. I will put it in the Spin General and maybe Spin Resources channel. 2 really, really good sections of our channel that you want to check out for sure, 100%. If you're looking to get good at spin and goes. Also, a Twitch stream is a good idea as well. I'm currently on our way in our bankroll challenge to turn $30 into 30k. We just recently moved up to the $30 stakes, so I thought I may as well use the video for it. Make a video while we're doing it. This is the first real limit where you're going to get a bunch of professional players and semi-professional players. I think we might have run good here though and got 2 recreational players. Just proves, just goes to show what UFC branding can do to these games. It's very nice to be in games with 2 recreationals. I'm going to continue. If I bet, then I'm going to check it back and then probably bet most rivers. Probably not this one though. Am I going to get a 7 to fold? Am I going to get a 6 to fold? Am I going to get 10 to fold? Probably not. Am I going to get a 5 to fold? Never in a million years. Give it up. Problem I had there was if I bet on the turn and let's say he goes all in, then what the hell do? I don't really want to put myself in that kind of really tough, horrendous spot. So I'm just going to check back, try and realize my equity, and if not, make a bluff on the river. Occasionally. We've run into aces. That's not very good, is it? And we lose that game. Oh well. No matter what limit you play, you're always going to run into aces at some point. Should we play another one? Yeah, let's play another one. Do another one. Get it going. Should load up in a second. Eventually. There we go. Bring it down here. Can we get another nice multiplier? That would be sweet, wouldn't it? Nope, just the 60. Oh well, we got a player from Russia, and we got a player from Germany. See how they play. Limping first hand is generally a good indication for me. We'll see. There aren't too many regs that limp from the button. I do. There aren't too many that do. It's a good sign. So the other piece of software that I'm using other than the Holder Manager is a thing called Stars Helper. It allows me to see the number of big blinds that my opponents have without me having to add it up myself. It's just a quality of life thing, really. Don't really need it. You don't really need the HUD either. I know many players that don't use the HUD at all, and they're doing very well in poker. I think a lot of people misuse a HUD more than it helps them. They make excuses. They're less likely to analyze what these players had on showdowns, because you just look at the statistics. I've had a few scenarios. I remember when I was new to heads-up displays, where I would be like, "Oh, that guy is super aggressive," but if I paid attention to what was going on, he had aces, kings, and queens in 3 hands in a row, which does happen sometimes. And yet I was like, "Oh, he's so aggressive." So made a raise here with 7-6. We've hit middle pair. We can check or bet. I'm going to go for the check today. I want to be betting and checking, especially if I think I'm playing a regular player. So I'm checking and calling. Pretty nice turn for my hand. Pretty nice turn for my check calling range in general. I am going to call again. This is pretty scary. It is possible for me to just stick it in as well, if I think my opponent is doing this with bluffing hands, draws and whatnot. I think maybe I will just stick it in. I think I will. I've got to protect myself against a lot of stuff. So I like the fact that he's thinking. I like the fact that he's folding. I didn't really want the tough spot on the river. That's why we went for that. I'm quite glad of that play, actually. Now, if we had a low queen or a 6 or a set or whatever I'm calling, if we had some flush draws, some high flush draws that check the flop, I would do the same with the all-in. If I had straight, I'm probably check calling. If I had the low 2 pairs, so let's say I had 6-4 suited, I could play that as a check call, check raise as well. Ace 2. Given the good player is fairly short, I'm going to just ship the ace 2 in, because I think the guy is probably going to fold, so we just steal them blinds. If they were more deep, then I'd be a little bit more scared of running into something, so I wouldn't be shipping the ace 2. Anyway, looking good for this game. I feel like this guy's probably a regular player. He really put the pressure on in the right area at the right time there, but I'm glad we pushed back at him with the 7-6 there. Got all in, we're going to fold. All right, so our stack size is 25 big blinds, but our opponent's is a lot shorter, so we're just going to easy make it all in here with the freeze. We don't really want to be called by jacks. Running into some monsters right now. It happens. But at that stack depth, we're quite happily pushing it all in pre-flop. Being pushed into, we've got 10-8, got to fold. King 5, if it folds to me, we're going all in. It's on the closer side, whether I want to push it or not, but I'm going to do it. We get called by queens. It looks like that's all she wrote. Yeah. I think overall we played pretty well. I really like the 7-6 hand in that game. Unfortunately, we've been running into monsters, which obviously happens. Luckily, we didn't run into monsters in a big multiplier, so it doesn't feel too upsetting. We'll move on from there. I think the next video in this series, where we're moving up in stakes, will be the $40 spin and goes. Those are really interesting ones, actually. Let's have a look at them. These ones have $3 million up top for the winner, but it isn't too top heavy. So it's very unlikely you'll hit the $3 million spin. So they are very grindable. I think there are a bunch of people that even move down from the $100 spins to play these during the peak hours, because they are incredibly soft for the buy-in. I know Nick has been streaming and playing these a lot. So if you want to see how they work out, definitely come and check Nick's streams. He normally streams on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays throughout the daytime in the UK on twitch.tv/op_poker. I'll make him do a video. I'll get him on. I think he should do a playthrough video as well. And then eventually we'll get over to doing the 60s and the $100 spins. We might even do the $250 and $500 spins in the distant future. It really depends on whether I think I can beat that limit before I would want to do a strategy video. There's nothing I hate more than people doing strategy videos for limits they're not beating. So yeah, we're going to do our bankroll challenge to go from $30 up to 30k. By the time we hit 30k, I think we can be playing even the $100 spins. So hopefully by then we'll have them done. And then once I've finished that challenge, maybe we can try the 250s. I'll see if I can beat them before I post a video on them. If they are very, very hard, maybe I'll just play them on stream for fun, for the gambles, and then not do a video. We'll see. I'm not sure how it goes. Maybe if I go in the lab a lot, then I can beat it. See. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing a video where someone actually lost. I know whenever I look on YouTube and watch someone playing remarkably, they always win. So I think it's important to show the losses and losses as well as the wins, especially as I think we played pretty well. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with what's the next video that I'll be doing. I think we're going to go over the heads-up displays and how to use them. I'm going to go now and make the Poker Tracker 4 HUD in a similar vein, similar fashion, hopefully. Come find it on the Discord if you use Poker Tracker 4. Come find this one on the Discord as well if you use Holder Manager. I'll also do a video on very, very basic beginner strategy on how to use a HUD. I think that would be quite useful to a lot of people. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Peace.